Carrie Rachel Brownstein, born September 27, 1974, is an American musician, writer, actress, and comedian. She first came to prominence as a member of the band Excuse 17 before forming the punk indie trio Sleater-Kinney. During a long hiatus from Sleater-Kinney, she formed the group Wild Flag. During this period, Brownstein wrote and appeared in a series of comedy sketches with Fred Armisen, which were then developed into Emmy and Peabody Award-winning satirical comedy TV series Portlandia. Sleater-Kinney has since reunited, and as of 2015, Brownstein was touring with the band as well as in support of her new memoir. Early life. Brownstein was born in Seattle, Washington, and was raised in Redmond, Washington. Her mother was a housewife and a teacher, and her father was a corporate lawyer. Her parents divorced when she was 14, and she was raised by her father. Brownstein has a younger sister. Her family is Jewish. She attended Lake Washington High School before transferring to the Overlake School for her senior year. Brownstein began playing guitar at 15 and received lessons from Jeremy Nigk. She later said, "He lived in the neighborhood next to mine, so I would just walk my guitar over to his house. He showed me a couple of open chords and I just took it from there. I'd gone through so many phases as a kid with my interests that my parents put their foot down with guitar, so the instrument ended up being the first thing that I had to save up my own money for, and maybe that was the whole reason that I actually stuck with it." Quote, after high school, Brownstein attended Western Washington University before transferring to the Evergreen State College, where she met fellow students Corin Tucker, Kathleen Hanna, Toby Vale, and Becca Ilby. With Ilby and C.J. Phillips, she formed the band Excuse 17, which often toured with Tucker's band Heavens to Betsy. The two bands contributed to the Free to Fight compilation. With Tucker, she formed the band Sleater-Kinney as a side project and later released the Free to Fight split single with Cypher in the Snow. In 1997, Brownstein graduated from Evergreen with an emphasis on sociolinguistics, and stayed in Olympia, Washington for 3 years before moving to Portland, Oregon. Music career. Excuse 17. While a student at the Evergreen State College, Brownstein formed the Excuse 17 band with C.J. Phillips and Becca Ilby, one of the pioneering bands of the Riot GRRRL movement in the Olympia music scene that played an important role in third-wave feminism. Sleater-Kinney. After both Excuse 17 and Heavens to Betsy split up, Sleater-Kinney became Brownstein and Tucker's main focus. They recorded their first self-titled album in early 1994 during a trip to Australia, where the couple were celebrating Tucker's graduation from Evergreen. Brownstein still had 3 years of college left. It was released the following spring. They recorded and toured with different drummers, until Janet Weiss joined the band in 1996. Following their eponymous debut, they released 6 more studio albums before going on indefinite hiatus in 2006. In a 2012 interview with DIY magazine, Brownstein said that Sleater-Kinney still plans to play in the future. On October 20, 2014, Brownstein announced on Twitter that Sleater-Kinney would be releasing a new album, No Cities to Love, on January 20, 2015, and would tour in early 2015. At the same time the announcement was made, they released the video for the first single from the album. The single, Bury Our Friends, was also made available as a free MP3 download. Critics Greil Marcus and Robert Christgau deemed the band one of the essential rock groups of the early 2000s. Tom Brahan called them the greatest rock band of the past 2 decades in 2015. Other work. Brownstein and former Helium guitarist, singer Mary Timony, recording as The Spells, released The Age of Backwards E.P. in 1999. In summer 2009, Brownstein and Vice worked together on songs, produced by Tucker Martine, for the soundtrack of the documentary film, Women Art Revolution by Lynn Hirschman Leeson. In September 2010, Brownstein revealed her latest project was the band Wild Flag, with Janet Weiss, Mary Timony, and Rebecca Cole, formerly of the Minders. According to Brownstein, about a year earlier, I started to need music again. And so I called on my friends and we joined as a band. Chemistry cannot be manufactured or forced. So Wild Flag was not a sure thing. It was a maybe, a possibility. But after a handful of practice sessions, spread out over a period of months, I think we all realized that we could be greater than the sum of our parts. They released a self-titled album in September 2011. In 2011, they toured for a second time, and played at CMJ Music Marathon. Accolades. In 2006, Brownstein was the only woman to earn a spot in the Rolling Stone Readers' list of the 25 most underrated guitarists of all time. Quote, writing career. Brownstein began a career as a writer before Sleater-Kinney broke up. She interviewed Eddie Vedder, Mary Lynn Rudge Scub, Karen O, and Cheryl Hines for The Believer magazine. Brownstein has also written a couple of music-related video game reviews for Slate. From November 2007 to May 2010, Brownstein wrote a blog for NPR Music called Monitor Mix. She returned for a final blog post in October, thanking her blog readers and declaring the blog officially conclude. Ed. Quote, in March 2009, Brownstein was contracted to write a book to describe the dramatically changing dynamic between music fan and performer, from the birth of the iPod and the death of the record store to the emergence of the "you be the star" culture of American Idol and the ensuing dilution of rock mystique. The book, called The Sound of Where You Are, is to be published by Echo, HarperCollins. Brownstein's memoir, Hunger Makes Me a Modern Girl, was released on October 27, 2015. The book is published by Riverhead Books, a division of Penguin Books USA. Acting career. Brownstein has acted, what she calls a mere hobby, in the short film Fan Mail, the experimental feature group, and the Miranda July film Getting Stronger Every Day. Brownstein and Fred Armisen published several video skits as part of a comedy duo called Thunderant. She also starred opposite James Mercer of the Shins in the 2010 independent film Some Days Are Better Than Others. The film had its world premiere at SXSW on March 13, 2010. After their Thunderant videos, Brownstein and Armisen developed Portlandia, a sketch comedy show shot on location in Portland, for the Independent Film Channel. The two star in the series and write for it with Alison Silverman from The Colbert Report and Jonathan Kreisel, a writer for Saturday Night Live. The show, which features appearances of some of the characters from Thunderant, premiered in January 2011. The series has received positive feedback, and has been renewed up to its 7th season. As of September 2014, Brownstein portrays the role of Sid in the Amazon Studios original series Transparent. In 2015, Brownstein portrayed Genevieve Cantrell in the Todd Haynes film Carol, based on Patricia Highsmith's novel The Price of Salt. However, the majority of her scenes were cut due to the film's length. The film had its world premiere at the Cannes Film Festival on May 17, 2015. It began a limited release on November 20, 2015. Personal life. Brownstein was outed as bisexual to her family and the world by Spin when she was 21 years old. The article discussed the fact that she had dated bandmate Corin Tucker in the beginning of Sleater-Kinney. The song, One More Hour, is about their breakup. After the article was out, she said, "I hadn't seen the article, and I got a phone call. My dad called me and was like, 'The Spin article's out. Do you want to let me know what's going on?' The ground was pulled out from underneath me. My dad did not know that Corin and I had ever dated, or that I even dated girls." Quote, in 2006, The New York Times described Brownstein as openly gay. In a November 2010 interview for Willamette Week, she laid to rest questions about her sexual identity, stating that she definitely identifies as bisexual. She says, "It's weird, because no one's actually ever asked me. People just always assume, like, you're this or that. It's like, okay, I'm bisexual. Just ask." Single quote. Since working together on Thunderant, Brownstein and Fred Armisen developed what Brownstein has called one of the most intimate, functional, romantic, but non-sexual relationships they have ever had. According to Armisen, their relationship is all of the things that I've ever wanted. You know, aside from like the physical stuff. But the intimacy that I have with her is like no other. Quote, Filmography. Carrie Brownstein at the Internet Movie Database. Carrie Brownstein on Twitter. Carrie Brownstein discography at Music Brains. Official Sleater-Kinney website. Carrie Brownstein, co-creator, co-writer, co-star from IFC's Portlandia website. Carrie Brownstein video produced by Makers. Women Who Make America. Carrie Brownstein's blog. Monitor Mix, at NPR. 2007 to 2010.